the most interesting team in the Premier League right now, Manchester United. For the
Not the league leaders, not the league leaders,
no,
but the
not
seventh
not
or
the
eighth
league
team. Okay,
leaders
no
now.
Yeah,
problem,
they
no
are they
problem.
Um,
are topping the most interesting team
the most
table
interesting
since they're all
team
bringing
in
tables
the league
every
right
week
now
now.
because
You see why I wanted to play there so that I can end all this match because they won 3 games in a row. Nobody wants to hear what
Four,
no,
we
no,
four
because
games unbeaten.
we're not
everybody
allowed to hear
in
all this.
4 games unbeaten.
Four
Everybody in
games unbeaten.
England,
Yeah, let's do it that way. Thank you, David.
everybody in England, and
Something Bournemouth has done, Palace has done.
football fans all over the world have gotten an education on the 3-4-3 football system, right? Over the last year,
Okay.
everybody has been talking about it. We've been arguing, does it work, does it not work? Finally, it seems like Amorim might be getting vindicated, right? For whatever thing that he was seeing in his mind or on training pitch, it's finally seemed like maybe, just maybe, things might be turning. And then we came to this game against Forest, and for 5 to 7 minutes during the game, it just seemed like there was everybody just got mental problem. Um, Obviously that mental problem comes from a couple of places, right? And I think the manager could have made a few choices. So, for example, Cunha, I think 45 minutes into the game, 50 minutes into the game, it was clear to me that like it just wasn't his game. And I don't know if it's football manager that's giving me the idea or confidence, but I think you can make subs, you can try things as a manager, right? If you're watching the game and 55 minutes is passing and your attack is not looking good, do something, make a sub. But like Amorim and a lot of all these other managers, I think Ateta as well, they don't like to make subs. Like they don't like to change things or to tweak the formation. So I think that's one mistake that Amorim made. I'm a little concerned about Lenny Euro, that position.
Oh,
I think he might be a fantastic centre back, right? I think he in time he could be a superstar, but
Sorry, is it the same Euro that you were bigging up last
the
season
same Euro
or
now, the
this
same
season? Is that the same
Euro,
Euro?
the same Euro.
Okay.
But like this position that
I just
Amorim is
wanted to be
asking him to
sure.
play, right? Amorim is asking him to be a centre back and also kind of like a right back and also kind of like a midfielder and also kind of like an attacking player. Like right, so I mean, look, sure, experience he can execute to an extent. The late when he has to play that position, he can execute to an extent. Lenny Euro has the raw materials, but like the sense that it needed to like know where to stand so that when an attacker turns you, you wouldn't be caught flat-footed. He doesn't have
he
that.
has to learn now. He has
He
to
still has,
learn.
he still has to learn like
He
some
has
other
to learn,
stuff.
and there's only one place to learn. He has to learn on the pitch. You
Exactly.
can't
No,
learn in training. It's
okay,
on the
that
pitch. He
that,
has
that
to
leads
learn.
me to my third issue with Amorim. How do you expect any of the subs to get any kind of match fitness if they don't play? That applies to Mazraoui, who looked a bit shaky against Forest. That applies to Kobe Mainu, who is only getting 5 minutes here, 7 minutes there. That applies to Joshua Zexi, who can't get minutes for love or
I
money,
forgot sex is Man
right? And
United.
I'm watching Sesko, right? Who is having a good time, a hard time, sorry, a bit. He's scoring a bit, but he's also trying to manage, struggling. And you have a striker who is seasoned, who is bathed in the worst. Exactly has gone through his own kind of Maguire situation. He left at halftime, was crying, eventually became a superstar, balled against Arsenal. I don't know. I mean, David, I think you said you didn't watch the game, but like from my description, United scored first. It seemed like we're looking kind of like we could do something, and then 5 minutes into the second half,
Too good.
Forest scored 2 goals. Usual United madness. But then in the end, Ahmad quality, we equalized. We had a few chances to get
To
away with the
win.
victory.
Yeah.
Comeback.
Comeback was
Yeah.
on, and maybe we're forgetting how to lose. But what do you make of our situation? We currently have, what is it? 17 points. No, sorry, yeah, 17 points. Second position has 19, so we're 2 points behind City.
What
Seven
position are
points
you though?
behind Arsenal. And that's a very tough league and a decent position is for Amorim to be compared to where we were last season.
Yeah. So I think overall appraisal based on you know end product and where you are, it's an improvement, right? Having 17 points, being just 7 points off the top of the table is commendable to one extent. But we discussed this, I think, last week and the week before. it will begin to tell when those guys on the bench don't get games and are not match fit, and the guys who are starting games go on a run of bad form, and then you need somebody to to reinvent things, to change things. Last season, Ahmad didn't start the season as a starter, right? I think he started coming off the bench, and he was influencing games up until when he got injured. There was a time when Ahmad went on the string of, I think, 4 or 5 games, either scoring or assisting, and then he got
Yeah.
injured. Now, we might not have that type of spark this season from anybody off the bench because they are so unfit, and they're so far off from the first team that confusion will set in when those guys come into the game. And like you said, it looked like it wasn't Cunha's day yesterday, but you wouldn't find Amorim make a substitution now, because 10 games in fact, I would actually say 11 games in, because there was that one odd game with Grimsby Town. There are some players who have not. There are some.
Grimsby, yeah. They want to
There are
pretend
some
it's
guys
bad.
who
So
haven't
yes,
kicked a ball, or who
Odd game.
haven't played more than 5, 7, 10 minutes. Right? Zexi would probably still end up in the same locker room with Malasia as things are going. Stay in the club for 2, 3 years,
Yeah, bomb
and
squad.
bomb
Yeah.
squad, and nobody would know that you're there. You cannot use the same 13 players every week, right? You would have to mix things, around. I don't know if he's waiting for November, December, and January, when there's usually fixture congestion. But you need to be able to change things, especially because every other manager is not here to sell plantain. They're also watching you, right? They've seen your system, and they've seen your personnel, and they almost know that when the guys you start with, when it's not working with them, there's nothing else to expect from you. So, that's
Right.
dangerous. That is very, very dangerous. When they
No,
know you can't tweak it, and they know that it's just these guys. As long as these guys don't turn up, we're good. It's really dangerous.
I mean,
that's the angle I want to. That's the angle I was
you
going to
guys, you
take
guys
it
have
from
stubborn
as well.
managers too, right? You guys are you can appreciate the
We've been there.
stubborn
We've been there. We've been
manager.
there.
Yeah, you've been there, so what's your
There's
take on
there-
strong
there's
head Amorim?
there's a method to the madness,
Mm,
and I'm going to say trust the process, as you guys were telling us those times. You
mm,
guys should trust the process as well. As the angle I was going to take it from is what David have said. The manager right now, like, he has been playing those guys, trying Mazraoui, trying bringing in Zexi at the start of the season, was not working. Now he has gotten a group of players that got him the win in the last couple of games. Surely everybody says don't change the winning team, right? Yes, Cunha was having a bad start of the game, but he's a quality player. He just needs one chance on goal, a half chance. He can score. You don't have, the manager does not have that same faith with Zegzi. He does not have that same faith with Mazraoui
no, but like
compared to
you,
like
it's a
Amad
give and
Diallo.
take now.
It was not Diallo that scored at the end of the day. So
So
yes,
Diallo
they
is
are
not
not
who you
having
take
enough
off.
meeting.
When I say it wasn't Cunha's game, as a manager, you're supposed to have that like sense of like, this guy, today's not your day. Somebody
Some
else.
managers are not thinking like that, though.
No,
They are
like
thinking. They're always thinking. Modern managers, like you said, Arteta is like that. It's about the fine margins, right? There might just be a chance. Who is going to take it? Cunha versus Zegzi. Even you as a fan, you're leaving Cunha there. You don't just bring in people just to run around for the
I
sake of running
want.
around. Cunha is already
And,
running around.
and
And on the other hand,
modern day managers,
and on,
just to add to what you're saying, modern day managers, it's players they trust, they play. Even if that player is dying, you rather play a player they trust on one leg than to play a
at the
player they
same
don't
time as
trust.
well, they have to make sure that the players get used to the system. You guys that are
Yeah.
not that strong, sit on the bench, watch how these guys are playing, so that
I
when
don't
you
know.
come in, this is how you should
I don't
replicate
know what
it.
you guys
On the
are
one hand,
saying now, right?
on the
Like
second hand, you guys are only
your
playing one game a
manager
week. You're
expertly,
only
in
playing
my
one game a
opinion,
week,
Yeah.
your manager
so the
expertly
managers have time
rotated.
to recover.
Your manager expertly rotated Trossard, for example, right? To the point where like Trossard is like a conveyor belt. He can come in and deliver, because there's some games where he starts. He gets games where he starts. Like
A typical example of this is against PSG, second leg semi-final
Yes.
of the Champions League. Arteta did not make a sub until the 89th minute. Why?
80 something, yeah,
Because
80 something.
yeah, 89th minute. 89th minute. He only that's when he brought in Ethan. Why? Because
He
he
didn't
thinks
bring
these are
it,
the
he didn't
people.
bring on Ethan. Ethan didn't play that game. He didn't.
Yeah, whether he
I
brought
talk
in
about second leg. The
Ethan.
second leg, right? He
Second
didn't
leg,
play.
yes, second
He
leg.
brought in
So
Tierney and he brought in Ben White. That's what he did. He brought in defender.
So these are the people that I'm saying they think that when a moment of quality comes, these are the people that I trust. You guys
Yes.
are just coming to making numbers. It's not about resting and running. It's about that little quality. So all he's saying to them, Mazraoui and
The
those
only
people,
way
is
those
you guys
bench
step
players,
up.
the only way those bench players play is to do what Ahmad did, whereby maybe a first team player gets injured. Say for instance, Kuya gets injured now. Maybe Zexi can come in, and then Zexi now performs to a level whereby
has
the
to.
coach trusts him. So
Yes.
now it's not as if he's going to be a starter. He's probably going to join the bench squad. That's probably what he's going to do.
But listen, it will come on earlier. Instead of playing like last 5 minutes, like you said, he will probably come and play the last 15 minutes. And things like
So his
that.
minutes will start increasing until the coaches trust him. Yeah, that's the way it's going to work. We
See,
saw this teacher. We saw it. Trust me. With Arsenal.
I was brought up under one day it's Fletcher in the midfield, another day it's
Yeah.
Anderson or it's
Sorry.
Carrick.
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone.
I want a manager who is brave enough to say 60 minutes into the game, Cunha, you're a good player. I'm not saying you're not a good player, you're a good player, but you're struggling in this game. Miss him out, see what you can do. Because Cunha likes to carry the ball from back and run to front. But Mason Mount knows how to be the last man in the box. He knows how to get into the box. He knows how to make that behind run. So maybe you try something different. Try something different. Don't just say, this is my guy. See somebody like Diogo Dalot, for example, right? Clearly a blockade. Like there's no he has a lot of physical talents, but mentally he doesn't have what it takes. So I think Amorim.
But until Amorim signs a defender that is better than Dalot to me is the best that he has in that position.
I mean,
according to him,
and people forget, Dalot is very trustworthy. He's never injured. I'm sure in training he's very good in training. They are not. Remember, this is not.
And he's a workaholic.
That's just one example.
It's not peculiar to Amorim.
That's just one example, right? And I'm glad the other Man U fan is here, Jude, because what we're talking about now is how Amorim, for some reason, doesn't want.
You guys are emotional. We are not emotional. We're talking facts.
We're talking about how
we're talking facts.
Observing.
Because we have been there. We've been there.
Your facts.
We've been there. So I tell you how it feels
6.5 years of emotion.
We're talking about how Amorim
Exactly, and now we are cool.
is still struggling
in
terms of decision making, right? So I was saying that I think yesterday wasn't Cunha's game, and Cunha could have come out for Mason Mount, for example. And then also Sesko wasn't looking like Sesko is a good player. I want to say he's a good player, but we have another striker in the game. If one guy is not delivering for 60 minutes, try somebody else, let them play. And if you want to be able to use your subs, how can they get match fitness if they never play? So Kobe Mino, for example, doesn't play. Joshua Zirkzee doesn't play. Mazraoui doesn't play. So when they come in, they are not sharp like everybody else. How you see the game? Did you watch the game? How you see that game against Forest?
It's on them to step up.
5 minutes of madness.
Sorry, Jude, before you go, whether they step up in training or not, Amorim will have his test in January, right? His entire left is going to AFCON. So he would have to put in players that he has not. Oh, sorry, the right. Sorry, they are left-footed guys on the right. They have not. Whether he likes it or not, those two are going to AFCON, and then he would have to play.
And they set it up too, by the way.
Play individuals that have not been playing. So
one person will come back early. One person will come back.
The only person that is coming back early is Mbeumo. Mbeumo is coming back early because Onana is his keeper, so we know that one. But Ahmad seems like he might go further, right? So, but at least
even Mazraoui as well. Mazraoui is going to go further.
Yeah, Mazraoui is going to go further. So whether he likes it or not, he has to give people chance to pay.
Licha is coming back. Licha is coming back.
You can go on now.
Licha is left hand side.
For me, I watched a bit of the game. I just feel like somehow we got carried away and we were playing to the other opponent's strengths. Like they were the ones dictating the game more. I think
Sean Dyche made Sean Dyche.
That's the problem. So I feel like in that case, the coach would have, like Kim said, sub the Sesko and maybe put in more energy. I felt we needed a commanding person in that midfield. That's where I think Meno would have entered and sat down and maybe just distribute the ball instead of everybody running helter-skelter in that midfield. Because you can't do that with teams like Bournemouth. You can't do it with Newcastle. You can't do it. I don't know what happened to Brighton, so I'm happy we dealt with them. But teams that can
Aston
play
Villa.
that energetic run around and this thing, we don't have that pace in our people. They won't be able to do it for 70 minutes. Bruno will be off by then. Cunha won't be going back and forth. So it just needs a game change with players that will fit the gameplay. That's what I
You should
expected.
try
him to
something
do.
different.
Yeah.
That's what I expected. him. But he took a long while.
Yeah.
They almost
The funny thing is when you guys are winning, when you won 3 in
Yeah,
a
I
row, I
didn't
didn't
hear
hear
all
about the
No, we
manager's
did.
substitute. I'm sure it was still the same style of
Dr.
substitution.
Toes, Dr.
No.
Toes. We
We didn't
actually,
hear. We didn't
we,
hear that
we
much.
actually
I
discussed
did
it
not hear
last
it.
week. We had that
I did not
discussion.
hear
We
it.
had that, we had that talk last week.
I was not available. No, I forgot.
so it's
I mean,
just-
so
I think
so-
someone just have to find a second formation that we can adapt to.
He is not going to find a
That's
second
the
formation.
second
You have to
formation.
trust in the
Formation,
process.
okay.
He has to play and
I
play
don't have a
and
problem
play.
trusting the process. I just
What you should be saying that you
That's
find another means of winning, not
what it
formation
is.
means. Like the way
Yes.
Ateta has found set pieces, you should find his own second way of winning.
Ask your players
So
to
that's-
be dynamic. Your players have to express themselves. You
You can't
understand?
give what you don't have.
No,
Forget
that's
the formation
that's
trade is
that's
not
a great point, guys.
Exactly. That's how you
Players
have to give
expressing
different.
themselves.